Hey guys, can you hear me? If you can hear me, please put a message into the chat box so we can start in 1 minute. All right, so we are gonna start very soon. First, like if is your first time to join our class, what I want you to do is like you need to go to the website called Repair It, and I am going to copy the link for you. So let me just go with that. Give me a second. Just Repair It. And I will put it into the YouTube chat box, and you can find it out from there. And I'm going to close my Zoom meeting because I will just use the YouTube channel. Okay, if you have any issue to go to the YouTube, please let me know, or have your dad or mom send a message to the WeChat, and I can work with you on the how to go to YouTube, the YouTube channel. And like last week, we said I want you guys to install the Pycharm. So you can use Pycharm. And if you haven't installed Pycharm yet, I want you to just use the Repair It. So first, in Pycharm, after you install, you got to have a window called Welcome to Pycharm. Usually you can create a new project. So there's a button called Create New Project. If you already have a folder, you can click Open. All right, so you can like what I did is I'm going to create a new project. And in the new project window, I will go folder. This folder here, there's a browser, and you click on the browser, and now you can choose, like I usually choose desktop. And now I will, in Windows, you probably can do right click, and now you choose new, and you got a folder in Math. Since I am in Math, so I click new folder. Now I create a folder called Python coding or whatever coding. So Python coding. So I click create. Once you create, now you can open it, and you got the location on desktop Python coding. Just remember you create a folder in your desktop, and next time you won't forget where you put your code. All right. And most of the time, if you install correctly, and you should already have the Python 3.7 in the interpreter. If not, and you might have some problem to compile your Python. So first you have to install the Python, but normally it should become together. It should be okay. And after you install the Pycharm, if you have the problem to run your Python code in the Pycharm, and you have to come back to me and have your parent to talk to me, and I will help you out through the Zoom. Okay, but make sure you have Python 3.7 instead of 2 point something. So, but yeah, the latest version is we are using is Python 3.7. All right, and that's what I got from this folder. It's called Python coding, and I want you to create this folder the same like what I have. You just click on the button called create new project, and you choose this button and go to the desktop, create a new folder, and you have a folder called codings or Python codings. I know some of you guys are really creative and you probably put a very cool name, but make sure you know the folder you create. And now I can create it, and after a little while it's creating the virtual environment, and you should have something like this. And there's a bar on the left side, and now you can open it, and so you can have Python coding. And if you expand, you click on this, the triangle, you see the triangle on this side, you expand it. Now you see, oh, there's VENV. What's that mean? It means a folder. It is for the virtual environment. It's called virtual environment. So what's the virtual environment in Python? You probably, oh, I don't have no idea. Yeah, basically, I will, it's like you install the libraries, and which we are going to learn this today, and you will install everything inside this virtual environment inside this folder. But you never should put your code inside here. Don't put your code inside here, okay? It's just for installation. So just keep it out of this folder and always create a file in the Python coding folder, like your folder. And now what I want you to do, you just right click and now do new, and you go all the way down here. It's called Python file. All right, so you just click Python file. Now you can create a first file. Let me just create a hello file, hello. So the file name is called hello, and if I open it, now I have a hello.py. What I'm going to do, just print, and I will say hello world. And now I type this one, and I am going to click on my menu. There's a run, and you go all the way down here, run with the 3 dot at the end. So I click run. Now in this window, I choose hello because I want to run this file. So I choose run hello. Now down here you will see hello world, and which means my project was created and is working fine. Okay, so that's the way to use Pycharm, right? So if you don't have the Pycharm installed, you probably have to use this one. It's called Repel-It. And I really want you guys to use Pycharm, but if you don't, and you can keep using the this one, okay? You just keep using the Repel-It for today until you have time, you have your parents to help you out, and you can install Pycharm. But myself, I prefer use Pycharm because Pycharm can run my code and then it's safe in my computer. It won't I won't lose my code, or it is very fast. So you just I want you guys who have the Pycharm, try to create the first file called hello.py, and just print hello world. If you can run it successfully, and please let me know and put a message into the chat box. And otherwise, you probably have to go back here to repair it. And one more time, I will copy this URL and put it into chat box. You can use it. And we are going to start today's class. And just give me one minute. I will just come back and with my phone, and I will see if any parent is calling me or not. Okay, so we come back, and the second website we are going to open is W3 Schools, like every time you guys do. Just in Google, you type w3schools.com, and we go here and we go tutorial, and under the programming, there's something called Learn Python. In Python, last week we learned links. And I know most of you guys already sent me the homework, and they are doing really good. And they show me the shopping list. You can add the item into the shopping list, and you can also pop it out with the list. So I'm going to go through them, and we are going to create a list called colors. So we are going to see how to look through our list, and we are going to do something with our color list. But first, let's just go through these lessons. And in Python list, and we use so we usually when we have a multiple values, like here we have apple is a string because it was wrapped by the double quote, and banana is another string and also wrapped with the double quote. And in this list, and you have to wrap it with square bracket, like a bracket, and separate by the commas. If you want to go to the first one, and you need to say first you have to assign this list to a variable like this list, and in this list, if you want to go to the first one, you need something called index. So like here, if you're saying the index 1, and you will go to the banana. So you say why is banana? Because we always count from 0. Okay, in Python we count from 0, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so now what I want you to do, just go back to the repair it, or you go to the Pycharm, and we are going to start the coding for the variable called colors. So I'm going to remove this code, and just in the hello.py, I will define a variable called colors. In colors, and I need to assign a list to these colors. In the colors, I should have some color like red, blue, and also yellow, and probably purple, and also light pink, and I want more color, so but I didn't have anything in my mind. If you have something, could you just put it in the chat box so I can add more colors into this list? And I give you a minute. You can put some color except this red, blue, zero, purple, and pink, except these colors. I want some color in the chat box so I can add it to my colors list. And the same thing, if you are working on the repair it, you just go to repair it and you put it here. All right. So what I'm going to do is like orange and green and gray and what else? Any color in your mind, like maybe light blue, or let's just do brown. Okay, so now we got a list, a long list. So you might wonder, oh, how long it is? Like how many items in the colors? So you might have a question if you go inventory a really long list. So if you want to know how long it is, you can do print len, len, length, and colors. Now let's just run it on this time. If you want to run this code, you don't have to go back to the run and click this run. And what you can do in here, there's a triangle, green triangle here. You click run and it just show me 10. So let's just count how many items in this list. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's correct. Okay, so at the meantime, I just copy this one and go back to the repair it in case you don't have it and you don't have the Pycharm. You can also do run over here and you got 10. And I just here another color is red, so I'm going to add red. And of course you may want white. Right? Okay, so what I want you to do, you write your own version of colors and you print how long it is. You get the how many items in your colors, how many colors in this variable called colors. Okay, so I will give you 3 minutes. You just develop your own list. Or with the color list, you don't have to be exactly like what I have here. You just develop your own one, and once you're done, but you have at least have 7 colors. Okay, at least 7 colors. Like here I almost have 12. Yeah, it's 12 colors in my colors variable. And once you got at least 7 colors, please let me know and put a message into the chat box. After that, I can move forward for our lessons. All right, so David have a question. He said how to delete a project. So you don't have to delete it. Basically, a project is just a folder. Like what I have here is in my desktop. It's just a folder. So you can remove the folder and you create a new folder, like new project. You go to create a new project. Okay. If you already have a folder, you just choose open. And now you can open that project. So what I want you to do, you just go to new project, create another new project with different name. So you don't have to be Python coding or whatever you want to create that folder. All right. All right, I think most of you guys have finished. So I assume you at least have 7 colors in the list called colors. So remember last time, if you want to add more colors, you just do colors push. Just use a method under the color because color is a list and they have some methods with the list. So you just do colors dot sorry, it's not push, it's called append. So you do dot append. Now you can append more. Like here I want to append let's see, I need one more color, is called let's call what kind of color I want to have is called just let me hold on 1 second. I just Google it. HTML colors name. All right, so I can have here is a lot of color, right? So I may just have one more name called Alice Blue. Alice Blue. So I want to append one more colors to the end. Now, if after I append, and you can add one more colors. So, and this time, if I print, and how long for the how many items in the colors list. So I just need run, and I should have first I have 12, and then I have 13. Okay, and that's the way you can add one more to the end of your list. And what about if you want to add something like, let's continue with this. So now what I want you to do is like, how about I want to know the third items of my list should be 0, right? So how am I going to get the 0 in my colors? My first one. So I will do print and colors, and now you have 3. Okay, so you have 3, and now if I run it, and it would be show purple. It's not 0. Why? Why is show purple, the fourth one instead of third one? The reason is for Python it came from here is the first one is 0. So you can always count like this: 0, 1, 2, 3. So if you want the 0, it should be in the index 2. Right? So that would be run. And you get 0, the color 0 here. Okay? And with this trick, which means we can always go through each item, right? So let's just use the while loop. Last week we learned we do while. in, if you said, let's define a variable called star, just star, equal to 0. So if star, let's just name it called index, okay, index. So if the index is less than length of colors, and now I can print colors, now index, and you have to increase the index to index plus 1. So what we are doing here is like in every loop we will increase the index. So first we start from 0, and we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way to 11, because if index becomes 12 and we jump back here, 12 is equal to 12. So this we call this condition is false, is not true again. So we will not doing the loop anymore because that is false. This condition is not true anymore. So we are not going to continue to do this loop. And once we have this loop, and let me just run it. And we do run, and now you will get all the colors from the beginning: red, blue, yellow, purple, all of them from the beginning to the end. Okay, so what I want you to do, you just do the same thing for this while loop, and you loop from the first one and all the way to the end, and we show all the colors in the colors table list, and we use something called index, and to access each of them we start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to the end. So I'm pretty sure you have your own list, but if you use this trick using the while loop, and you can loop through each item. Okay, so what I want you to do, you use the while loop to do this job, and after that, if you finish, please let me know and put a message in the chat box, and I want to know if you're done, and we can move forward with another loop called for loop. Okay, and once again, if you're using the repair it, you can come back here. What you need to do, just like you type your code and you click the run in here, you should get a whole bunch of color in here. All right, in here. Okay, so I guess most of you guys have finished the code. And what I want you to do is like we are going to learn something new. So I want to see every time you do the index, and index will increase 1, right? So what I want to do is like we use something called for loop. So what for loop do is they will do the same thing. Like you loop through your list, but you don't have to define index and index. So what I'm going to do, I will show you like this. So you can remove this code or you can keep it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove all of them. I remove all of them, but I keep colors. So if you want to look through them, you can do for color or just C in colors. Okay, now you just print C. So you do for C in colors in this list, and it will do the same thing. It will looping it item by items, and it will print it out in each loop is print C. So again, I'm going to run it, and it will show you all the colors. So that is called for loop. So it's called for loop. C is one of the item in colors. All right. So yeah, you can do anything like any variable here. You can do color, like color, just color or C. It really doesn't matter. So I would put color, and you have colors. So what I want you to do, you just change this code, and once you change, and please let me know and put it in the chat box, and we are going to install a library in our project. Okay. So I will give you 1 minute. You just remove all the code. Just do for color in colors, and then print colors. And remember last time we used while loop, and you have to define an index, and you use the index from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all the way to 11, and that's how you do it. But in the for loop, you just do for color in colors and print color. Just print this color, and it will show each item in your list. So there are 2 ways to loop through your list. One way is you use while loop, and with the index, you can access each item by the index number. The other way is use for loops, and you can for the color in colors. And in that way, you can automatically get the item and put it into the color, and now you loop through it. And remember, every time you got to have some space here, and I got 4 space here, right? If some of you like, I want to just put 2 space, how am I going to put 2 space? You may just do 2 space, but your Pycharm will automatically get 4 space for you. The way to change it, unless you can see here, on here, you can click on the for space, and you go configure in indents, and you can change your tab size to 2 and indent to 2, something like that. But I like 4 space, so I would be just 4 space is fine for me. Okay, but like if you are working on the repair it probably just give you, oh yeah, they also give you 4 space, like 1, 2, 3, 4 space, and to make a block under the first line. Okay, so yeah, I think you guys already did this way. And now let's just go to the Google, and you go to Google, and you just type Python color, just Python color. And now if you see that let's just do Python color Rama, Kararama, okay, like Dorarama, they have Python Kararama. So you type Python Kararama, and now you got this one. The first item is called Kararama.pypy. It's something like this. Kararama pypy, okay? It's Kararama pypy, and then you go over here. It's Kararama 0.4.3. And what's 0.4.3 means? It means a version number. Like if you are using Windows 10, and which 10 is a version number, or you might use Windows 7, and 7 is a version number. If you use iPhone 8, and 8 is a number, version number. So the same thing for this library, Kararama is 0.4.3. is also a version number, okay? So you can go to the PyPy, you could do Python Kararama, and we are going to install this package. And at the meantime, I'm going to just copy the link and put it into the chat box in case you can't find it. It's called Kararama 0.34.3. And if you are working on the repair it, so how are you going to install a package? So if you go move your mouse on your left hand side, go all the way down here, you see there's something called packages. And you click on this button, packages. Okay, and it's saying there's under the packages here, and search a package. So now you can type color Rama, just like Dorarama, okay? And now you just choose it, okay? You can choose this one, and of course, after you choose it, you can add the package. And now it should be installing on the black box. You will see it's installing the Kararama. Okay, that's for the repair. And the way to install a package, you go packages and you search the package, or you said it's a library. And now you click on the button called press, and now you can install the package in your project. For someone who is working on the Pycharm, since we already go to this website and it's saying Kararama 0.4.3, and under here you see it's called PIP. It's a pipe. It's pipe and install Kararama. So what I want you to do, just copy this one. You copy it, you click the button, it will also copy it to, it will copy, you do the copy. Or if you can always do highlight and press Ctrl+C to copy it, and either way it will work. You just click it and copy it. Now after you copy it, you go back to Pycharm, and if you let me pull it out a little bit, I'll show you. All right, so I make it small, and hopefully you can see my terminal here. On your bottom, the left bottom, there's terminal here. You click the terminal, and you will go here, and you see something. The cursor is blinking here, and what you need to do, you just Ctrl+V, or in Mac, you do Command V, or you can right click and paste. So you just paste Py install Kararama, and now I want you to press enter, and again it just install the Pycharm into your environment, into your virtual environment, which should be in here. Maybe not. Maybe they put it here. Yeah, somewhere around here. Should be in the virtual environment. But anyway, it just install in the folder in your environment. So now after you install, and we are going to use these packages. Okay. So what I want you to do, you go ahead and install the package in your project. You can do if you are in Pycharm, you should use the py install Pycharm and go to the terminal and just paste it here, and it should be you should get the successfully install Pycharm -0.4.3. If you are doing in the repair, you should go the package here. You click package, and there's a search function here. You search Pycharm. Now you press the add button, and now you can add the Pycharm package over here. Okay. After you add it successfully, the thing installing or is already doesn't move in your bread box. It means it's already installed. And if like here, what I'm going to show you what I got. Here is showing package operation install one install, 0 update, 0 removes, which is already installed the Pycharm in your project. So which means you have installed. If you already installed in your project, please let me know and put a message into the chat box so we can move forward and use this package to show something in your project. Then please let me know and put a message in the chat box so we can move forward. So I will let you guys do one more time, and in case you missed what I said. So how to install it. So first, if you are in Pycharm, like what I have, this thing is called Pycharm, and you have to go to the terminal on the left bottom side here. You click terminal, and you will open the terminal over here, and it should be something like this. It's called your VENV. It stands for virtual environment. And now you have the cursor over here, right? So you will do some command on here. And the second step is you go all the way to the website called Pycharm. So if you don't have it, I just put the URL in the chat box. You can go over here. And now you can copy this thing, py install Pycharm, or you can click on the button and you get that command, and now you go over here and you paste and Control V and you choose paste, or you can do Control V. Control plus V is a shortcut in Windows to paste. And now or of course you can just type it. All right, you can just Py space install Pycharm if you're typing really fast, and now you just hit enter. It's going to install the package. And if you are on the repair it, and again you just go over here, click on you click on the button called package. You saw there's a block over here, and after you click it, and there's a search button here. So you just type Pycharm, and now you just choose it, and it should have a button called plus button here, and you click on the plus button. Now you are going to install that package in the project you are working on with the repair it. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward and pretty easy for you to install a package in Python. All right, so I guess most of you guys have installed it. If you don't, I am going to wait for 1 or 2 minutes, and I'm going to show you how to use this package. All right, so I think you have already installed it. If you're not, and you have to go back to the video and try to figure it out by yourself. And I thought it's pretty easy because you just search and press a button to install in repair it. For the Pycharm, a little bit complicated because you have to open the terminal and install things, and use the command called py install Pycharm, and you install a package. Now we have the package installed. What I want you to do is just remove all the code here and remove all of them. And if you go back to the Pycharm, the URL for each one, and they have a document here. So here is called project description, and you can scroll down all of them, like take a look what they are talking about. And if you want to use it, of course, you will go to the usage, this usage section, right? And on here, it's saying there's some sample code here. Let me just copy this sample code, copy it, and then paste on paste on here, and see what will happen. All right. So, but I will copy this URL and put it here, and have you to go to this website. Now you can do the same thing. Go to color output. Just go color output on this session. Now again, you just copy all of them from Pycharm import format style and all this print. You copy them. Now you come back to the file you just create. Now what I'm going to do is just run them, and hopefully you can see there's something changed because you can see different color. Okay, I'm going to explain to you what does this means. And but first you will do the same thing like what I do. Copy and paste the code and put it into your your Pycharm, or you go back to the repo and you remove all the code and just paste all the code in the main.py. Now you run it and you should have some colorful text in the breadbox. And also, like here is you would realize that they are kind of different, but that's okay, because they in different environment they have different color. Okay, but here what I want you to do, just copy the code from the website here. Now you paste on here and run it. All right. Now you can show different color. All right. Okay, so the homework for you is today is like you just go to install the package for your project in the Pycharm or in repo. But eventually I want you guys to all use Pycharm because it's easier for you to do. And now you try to figure out, you try to change some text here, like for example here, and you can change this string like ABCD or saying something, and also change the second one and change this one as well, and you run a couple of times and see if you can figure out and what is this one means. All right, so that is your homework, and I'm going to just give you some hint. If you put the 4 dot red, and then it will change your output to be red color, and of course it's bad dot green, and now it will just change your color to the background color should be green, but it doesn't show green here, but that's okay. And if you go back to this page and you scroll down all the way down here, let's see, and you would have some color like this: 4 dot red, green, 0 blue, magenta, then white, and reset is just go back to the normal one, the default color. So what I want you to do, you try out all this kind of color and see it work or not. Just put it, change the red to for example to blue. You change 4 dot blue. Now if you run it, it should be change your color to blue. Okay, and that's the way you can explore and how this Pycharm work. And that's what I want you to do for your homework. And if you change in different color or multiple line, like you have more line and more different for them, and please send me your answer to it's called help@dataarea.ca. Okay, that's all for today for the basic and the entry level. Okay, and I'm going to get some water and come back, and we will start for the junior level. Hey guys, how are you? Alright guys, I am not sure you guys already go to the Geek for Geek and read the homework we have last week. And basically is Geek for Geek is on this website called Bubble Shop. And I don't know if you read all of them or not. So basically we want to solve one problem like in Python or any language you say. So let me just open a Word document or something. Let's just open a Word document. That's my Word document. It's here. Yeah, right now it's on the junior class. Okay, and if you have a list, like for example, you have 3, 5, 6, 7, 3, or 2. So in this list, you want to sort them. In Python, you can do, there's a function, I believe is called sort. Right? In Python, you can do sort. So you have a function called sort, and what you do is just use the list dot sort, and then you sort the list. So let me just show you really quick, but we are not going to do that for today. So let me just have a project in my here folder directory. Let's just demo. Create a new file called short.bubble. Now I have a list like mum number. Now I have a list of this. Now you print, or you just do mum.short. Now you print mum and see what happens. Oopsie. I guess I have to choose run and choose short bubble. Now I will short my number to 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and from this unordered list. But like in the exam, and you got to know some way to do the sorting internally. How do they do that? Like of course, there's one way called bubble sort. It's the most simplest sorting algorithm. And how this one works, why it's called bubble sort? There's a whole bunch of way here. It's like insert sort, merge sort, quick sort, heap sort, and binary sort. And the binary sort should be most efficient. I mean, like in most of the time, in most of the case, the general case, and it would be most efficiency. Okay, but let's just do the first one. It's called bubble sort, and hopefully you guys already ready. If not, and yeah, I'm gonna just go through all of them, and after that we will go back to the HTML phase. Okay, and let's just do this one. Let's see. So let's think about that. If you have a very bad situation like 7, 6, 5, 3, 2. Okay. So if you want to shop it, you want the legs go to 3, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So like flip over. So how am I going to move all of them in order? So one of the way is like, I will go through the first item and I will compare with the second one. If you compare these two, if this one is bigger than the second, the first one is bigger than the second one, I will swap them. Like you put the 6 on here and 7 on here. Okay, and I will continue to do the next one if you will compare this item with the next item, and you go all the way from this one to here and this one to here. And if you go one round, and which means the 7 will go all the way to the end. So you know why they call bubble shop, because it just like a bubble, and if it is on the bottom, and after the first round, and they just go all the way, move the biggest one to the first one, to the last one. So it's called like a bubble. Okay, again, and after you got that one, you should get something like 6, 5, 3, 2, 7, right? You got this one. You got something like this: 6, 5, 3, 2, 7. And again, you will continue what you did. You will do this, compare the 6 with the 5. If the 6 is greater than 5, and you swap them, and let the 5 go to the first position and 6 go to the second position, and you continue to do this. Like you compare this one with the first one, and now you compare all the way, go to the you can go to the last one, or you can just go to the last second one, and now you will get something like 5, 3, 2, and 6, 7, something like this. And it's up to you, and it really doesn't really matter for naming in the Pycharm. Okay, you can just hello world or my project, something like that. Okay, and again, you continue to do that. I guess you get the point, but I just finish all of them. Okay, so I will do 3, 2. Now it's 5, and of course 6 and 7, and now you will get 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, exactly. We can use a loop to solve the problem. So yeah, I guess you get the point, right? You already get the point. And how this algorithm works. It just means you compare two, and you go one by one, and now you move the biggest one all the way to the last one, and then last second, and then last word, and then all the way like that. So if you scroll down, and we can do that, and they always come with some implementations, like samples. If you click Python, and now you can see how they do it here, right? How they do it here, called bubble shop. So what I'm going to do, I just copy it, and the whole thing's just copied. Yeah, in case you haven't come over here, yeah, I just copy and paste here. And the reason I want you to go here, because I want you to learn by yourself, right? I can't just cover everything for you, so you have to go to some website to learn to improve your programming skill, and that's why I think Gigs for Geeks is good, because they always give you the answer for all the language. Like for example, if you like Java, I know some of you good at Java, you can go with Java. And if you want C++, you can see some sample in C++. And if you are still in C, and you still can go with C. And honestly, I forgot most of them in C and C++. But if I still can read the code and I understand what they are talking about, so if you ask me and what it is, and I still can figure it out after some time. But we use Python today here, so that's why I copy the whole things, and we will just run it in the Pycharm and see how it works. And now I assume I have a list called NUM, and now I remove this one, and the pound sign is just some common, and it really doesn't matter. So now I have NUM, and I don't want this list, so I will just change to NUM. Now if you I will change this as well, and change this as well. When I remove these comments, now what I'm going to do is just I remove this code. Doesn't really matter. Now I am going to run it. It should give me right. It just give me the whole things. So maybe I don't need this one. I just print NUM. Now I print it. It should give me the list 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. If let's see what happened here. In this function, they named the function called bubble shot, and now you pass a list into this bubble shot. And usually, if you pass a number, or you pass a string, if you change here, the outside of your variable, it won't change. But for the objects like the list, if you pass through the arguments, and we call what we call here is called a reference. We call reference. So the reference to this list, if you change the list inside here, it also change the outside object. Okay, I'm going to cover that later, but right now let's just take a look on the loop. So if you do the same thing, like first they will do how many times they just like here, like in our example, they will do they will do the first one, like the first one. I mean, you can say you may say it's the last one. For the last one, let me move this one. For the last one, So if you want the biggest one go to the last one, so you have to do from the beginning, right? From the beginning. And again, if you look number of time, like how many items in the numbers. In here is like 5, so you have 5 times, you loop 5 times. And in the second ring, it's just like every time we don't have to move. Of course, you can still doing like this one. You know what I mean? You can still just do add range add, but like what I said, because the biggest one already come over here. There's no for the second the next run, you don't have to deal with the last one. That's why they just always just subtract the I, and so you don't have to go compare the last one. And now they will improve. They will do compare compare them, like from compare the one if they are if the J is like, for example, is they will compare and then swap them. So let me see. In the Python, they swap like this way, like you can put this if this is greater than, and then you put the right hand side one and put it in the left hand side, and the left hand side put it in the right hand side. So, and that's pretty amazing for that. And if you want to debug it, and you can do just print R and see what's going on with that. So you will get the first round, and the 7 will come down, and then the next round will be 6, and then you will get 5, and now you will get 3, and of course you can just go all the way to shove it. Okay, so hopefully you can understand this logic, how to move one by one. It just, you have to swap them, like swap. The only thing I think you may not know is like how they swap them, but in this way you can swap in one line, like you use something like this, but you still can do whole way like this, J equal to, that might be not working, but you have to have the one variable called like temp. You hold the first one. You hold the first the left side value, and now you have the ARR and J plus 1 now equal to oh sorry, so you have this one, the left side equal to the right side, and now you have the J plus 1 equal to the temp. And you might not do this way, because that if you do this one, it can be the one line code. You can swap them in one line, but if you separate them, you have to have the temporary variable to hold the value from the for the left hand side, because you are going to assign the right hand side one to the left hand side, and again for the right hand side, and now you can put the temp back to the right hand side. You got what I mean? And yeah, and that's the other way to swap them. So but what I want you to do, just understand how this loop work, this nested loop, like Sean said, it's called nested. Yeah, and it's just like you're doing multiple times and comparing each one and doing something like that. Okay. For the bubble shot, it's not that hard to understand. For next week, we want to go to the merge loop. No, not maybe not merge shot. We may just go directly to binary heap. Binary heap. Yeah, that would be more interesting and maybe the best way to do the sorting in Python. I mean, take a look. Maybe not the called binary heap. And one more thing is, like, you may always see that they are talking about the this guy called O. It's called time complexity. What they mean is just like in here, what they mean is like how many times they do the looping to dealing with this config. Like in this case, and how many times you will do the loop, you can count it. Like for example, you have O equal to 0, and if you come over here, you press the O equal to O plus 1, and now you print O. It's called time complexity. Okay. Let me just print time complexity, something like that. Okay. So I'm gonna click run. See, that's my old wrong. Local variable before assign. It's a local variable. All right, so they might ask me to assign. Okay, I'm just put print. Let's just print inside. Yeah, you're right. I may just have an O here. Now it's saying 10, and yeah, you can figure out why it's 10 because you can count it. Okay, and we will go back to the other shot, and next week I will have to take a look which one would be the best one. So yeah, again, if you haven't finished the bubble shot, and what I want you to do is just go back and take a look on the whole things. Okay, in case you have some question, just get back to me and see if you can understand this code or not. And I want you to learn how to read the code instead of I'm showing to you, and you can read them, like understand how it works. And because in gig to gig you can have a lot of these kind of things. All right. So yeah, you can always just copy the code and run it in the Pycharm, like what I did, and you test it out and you add something, and help you to understand the whole why the coding like that way. Okay, I think that's it for the Python, and we will go back to the HTML project, and we are going to install two libraries. One is called Twitter Bootstrap. The other one is called jQuery. So we are going to install the jQuery in our project, and now we are going to open the HTML project. So I'm going to close this one, the Pycharm, and we will get back to maybe the merge shot or the yeah, maybe we do the merge shot. I will see. So, but if you have time, you should go and do the merge shot or the quick shot, whatever. You can read all of them and see if you can understand how they work or not. But here it sounds like they have, yeah, they also have the Python 3. So just go ahead and read this called merge shot. So I'm going to put the link on here, and once you have time, you can go with this link and read it. Do the merge shot. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my Visual Studio Code on, and like last week I do my project on the HTML. Let's just go here and open it, and we are working on the index.html. So I'm going to delete the index one because I don't need it. And last week we moved out our the file called the JavaScript file. We moved the JavaScript file and put it in the main.js. It really doesn't matter how you name your file, but once you have to link your file to the other one, you have to have the same name, right? Put it in the source. If you have the style file like what we did, and we also move it out, we use the element called link. The element called link, and you put the attribute in the hyper reference, and now you can reference back to the main.css. So I'm not sure you guys still have this project or not. If you are not, please let me know and put a message in the chat box so I can send you the code. Okay. And of course, if anyone working on the repair it, like the repair it, you can still do the JavaScript thing. So you can go the same, like in repair it, you still can do it in here. But my one is in Node.js. What's long? Okay. Yeah. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the browser and just open my file. Let me see. Just if I go to file and there's open file, and I will go to my folder. I put it in HTML, and now I choose index, and I have the big circle over here. And hopefully you have the big circle, and then you can change to different color like last time we did. But today we are going to install the Twitter Bootstrap. So first you go to the Google, and you have Twitter Bootstrap. You type Twitter Bootstrap. You should you should go to the version 4, the latest one. If you click on the link called Bootstrap, the most popular HTML, CSS, and JS library. So you click on this one, it should be version 4.5.2, right? So you go to this website called getbootstrap.com in case you didn't find it. In repair it, let me see if I can do it for you or not. Repair it, new repair. Now I choose HTML, and now I create repair created. Does it create? Yeah, it create. Right, so yeah, doesn't really matter. We will go with this one as well. Okay, so you come over here, and of course there's installation, and if you scroll down a bit, and you will see called Bootstrap Cdn. So Bootstrap Cdn. So what's CDN mean? CDN means like there's they provide a public server to store all these files, like what you have here, like this main.js, main.css. So if everyone is using the same JavaScript, same CSS file, right? So you don't want all of them just again and again. You create your own file again and again. So that's why they have something to put it all together. So we put it in to the CDN. It's called Content Delivery Network. So what we need to do, we just copy the whole thing, like from the link. This link, you copied this one. Let's just copy all of them. So we copied all of them. Now you go back to your index.html. You under here. You just under here. You paste. Oops. Why I paste here? Yeah. Actually, I may paste a lot, but anyway. How am I just copied this one? Yeah, I may just copy it one by one. Now I can just paste one here under the main.css, and usually we want to put it in front of your CSS because they go with the sequence. So I want you to put it in front of your own style CSS file. So you put it in front of that, and that's why you put the on here. And again, for the script file, the JavaScript file like here is called JavaScript file. You also click, you select, highlight them, and copy, and put it under the no, just before your main.js file. All right. Oops. All right. So you should have these two. Now you save it, and you go back to your index HTML. There should be nothing changed because you just install it, and you just install them, and there should be nothing changed. So you always inspect, you do inspect, and you go to the console, and there's no error, and so far it maybe just install. Okay, I will do it one more time and in the repair it. So hopefully you didn't missed what I said. So in your index.html, in order to install the Bootstrap library, and what you need to do is just like you come over here. You don't have to. You don't need to go to the code like this code, and you just need to copy and paste from the Bootstrap website, right? Let me just paste the website URL here, and you go over here. You scroll down and go to Bootstrap Cdn, and there's a link for the CSS. You highlight and you just go, oops, don't highlight too much, you just highlight the link and don't highlight the script. So you go over here in your head before your main.css, you paste the link in front of your main.css. Okay, and if you're working on the repair it, and again the same thing, you have the style.css file here, and I want you to put the Bootstrap in front of the, you paste the style sheet in front of the link of style.css. And here again for the script, because that script is your own script, so I also want your script file from the Bootstrap, like you highlight from here all the way here. You copy these 3 lines and you go back to the Bootstrap. Go to the index.html just before the script, your own script file, and you will paste the things before your script.js. Okay, you got it? And once you have this one done, we are going to make some change, right? So please let me know you have paste the things in your index.html. If you're done, please let me know and put a message in the chat box so we can move forward to create a button. Yeah, they're not that much difference. They just I just want to tell you how you copy and paste to install the Bootstrap, including the jQuery, because in here is for the jQuery. So you install a few library here. One, obviously the first one is the Bootstrap, tutored Bootstrap. The second one is jQuery. So what are they? And I'm going to explain to you. But the way you are going to do is like you have to copy and paste these 4 lines and paste them into your index.html, and that's how you install them. Like you copy it and just paste here, right? And paste here. And once again, if you save it and you go back to your index.html, you run it, and there should be nothing over here saying something wrong in the console. And again, in repair it, there should be nothing. If you click run, and there should be nothing showing wrong here. So if which say we say it should be fine. Now I think that's easy for you. Just copy and paste, right? It's like you put the link, because usually the Bootstrap, let me explain what Bootstrap do. Bootstrap is like a library to make some awesome UI. For example, like some component. And let me just give you some example. Just click on the documentation. So what the Bootstrap do, if I click on the components and buttons, so they will make your buttons looks awesome, like this kind of button. Remember that we define a class ID. Sorry, it's ID here, but Bootstrap is using class. So I'm going to show you on that. Angela, I want you to just copy the make sure you go to home, and there are 4 lines here, right? The first one you should put it in here before your own main.css, and for the rest of 3, 1, 2, 3, and you have better to put it before the main.js. If you're working on the palette, and do the same thing, just before the style.css and before the script.js. And why we need to put them before them? The reason is because you want your own style CSS, and the value would be the first priority. Like you got the much more priority than the one already predefined in the Bootstrap. So sometimes you can override what they did. But right now we don't you don't have any idea. That's okay. But what I want you to do, just put them in front of the style.css, and again, just for the script, just in front of your own script. Like in our case, is main.js, main.css. And now we should go to the website, go to documents, just go documentation. If you scroll down here, there's a components and there's buttons. So there are a whole bunch of beautiful buttons, and what I want to do, I just type them exactly like what they did here. So the first thing, I go back to my code. Like here I already have something called click me, that is the big circle, remember that? So I may just comment them out, and it's okay for you if you don't want to, and I just comment them out in HTML. If you want to comment things out inside this open marker, like less than, and you put the exclamation, and now you put 2 dash, and usually they will put this one, but if you don't want to put these 2, that's okay. But you can and now you go all the way to the end here before the greater than, and you put two of them, the minus sign. So now you can comment them out. Like if you comment them out, and my big circle here will be gone, just gone, because I comment them out. Now before it, and I will go to just add one more file, a button. So I have a button here, and in this button I say click, don't click, okay, don't click. Now if I save it and now refresh, you got this one called don't click. It looks ugly, so that's why we have use the Bootstrap. And now how to use the Bootstrap? You would have class, the attribute called class equal to, so you put 2 classes, and one is called btn, the other way is called btn. Let's just try btn minus primary. And once you have, I put this attribute called class equal to button space button btn minus primary, and I save it, and I come back here and refresh. Now it will change into the blue button, and it looks nice. So what I want you to do, just exactly do what I did here. It's called button class, and you add two classes. One is called btn, but remember to separate with the space, right? Otherwise you won't know there are two classes. And so the first one is called btn, the second one is called btn hyphen minus primary, and now you will get the blue button over here, just like this guy, the blue button. Okay, so you have you change the color into the blue button like this. It looks nice and better than the default button. So what I want you to do, just add this code and see if your button will turn into the blue one or not. Once you're done, please let me know. At the meantime, I will do the same thing in the Republic. And if you're done, please let me know. So I'm going here, just btn button and class btn primary. Just don't click new. All right there. Now you get the big button. Don't click me. Awesome, guys. All right, so we have we turn the button on, and now what you want to do, if you want to change different color, and you just let's go back to the examples and what different colors do. If like first one, if you want the blue, they use the btn dash primary. If you want the color to be the gray one, like you can do secondary. If it's green, and then success. If it's red, it's danger. It's warning, and it's 0. And blue is info, and light is light gray. Now that is the black one. If link is just nothing, it just looks like a link. But you can later, if we understand how to change the themes, and you can define your own color. Like you can change this blue a little bit bright or a dim, and we can change in that way. But what I want you to do, if I want to change the this button, the don't click button, into the red color, so how am I going to do that? If you want to change to the red color, how am I going to do that? You guys have any idea? So obviously you will just go to the red color, and you will change the primary to the danger. So just danger. And now if I save it and go back here, and it will danger. All right, that's cool. So yeah, I think you get the point. It's just like they are using different class name to control the style. So you don't have to, like what we did here, you do all this kind of CSS file, CSS value, and you can just use the class was defined to by the Bootstrap, like primary, secondary, success, danger, warning, and info, and it will help you to change the color of the button. And again, and we can go with different component here, but what I want you to do is just like, hey, this button called don't click, right? So can we just, if I click it, can I change don't click to click it? How am I going to do that? So first I want you to do is like you have a ID, you give an ID to this button, okay? So let's just say ID is let's just call button, just call let's B1, okay? Make it easier for everybody. But it's good for you to have the name, a real name, like something meaningful. But here I just put B1 as the ID. Like here I put ABC. It's up to you. Just but it could be a name for B1. In right now we have the main.jss, right? So we go back here to the main.js, and of course you can use JavaScript. I will show you how to use the jQuery to change the don't click to be click. Okay, so but the first I want you to define an ID equal to B1. Now you go to the main.js, and we will put some code over here, and in the repo you will do, here is ID equal to B1, of course, and again in the script.js here, and you will do some code like what I am going to do it here. But you don't have to have this one, right? Because that is for the big circle. And now what I want you to do is just like do this one, okay? Of course they will do something called jQuery. We have something more, but what I want you to do, just have a dollar sign, a dollar, okay? Now you have a string inside the parenthesis for the dollar. So what the dollar means, the dollar is jQuery. It's for jQuery. It's like a object name, okay? It's an object name or a function name. You can say it's a function. Obviously here is a function, right? A dollar sign is just like a jQuery, something like that. But they just make a shortcut, make this function to be a dollar, like a dollar. Okay. Now inside here is an argument or parameter. You put the parameter is just like ID. Remember last time in the main.js, if for ID you use the pound sign to specify an ID. So in jQuery they do the same thing called pound ID, right? And then dot click. Click is let me see if in jQuery is they use click or not. So what I'm going to do is like jQuery click function. So yeah, they use click. So what click do is like last time we no, not last time. So I'm like what we did for the ABC, this element is on click, this attribute you can do on click here, but in jQuery you can just do dot click. So what click do here is like inside the click there's you should put a parameter, is a function, is they call handler. So how they handle the click, and exactly like what we did for the main.js for the on click, the click me like calling a function. Okay, and here you do the same thing, but the click you do the function. So you will define a function. It looks weird, but okay, if you click and then I will do something in here. So you will have a function, just function, and do something here. And before we change the text inside the ID, I may just show you if we can click it or not. So I will do console log. Console log is like print in Python. It just show you something in the console. So I will have the hello. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let me explain the code for you. So first you have the dollar sign, which means jQuery, and now you put the argument called with a string, is a string. In the string you have to say the pound, the ID. So our ID is, if you go back to here, our ID is what, B1, right? So I have to change ID to B1. All right, so you have pound ID is pound B1, and you will grab that one and dot click and function, and now you would have, you will call this function, and of course you can have your own function outside here, but I want to show you the what they call is anonymous function. And if you don't understand it, it really doesn't matter. You just like when you click and you will call something in, call this function, and what are they going to do is you will do something over here, right? So if you have this one and you save it, and now let me try my code and come over here and refresh, and you click and it will show hello, and you click and hello. All right, so now you know what I mean. So you have this small thing, it's called jQuery, and now dot click and function, and I have hello, and I'm going to do is like you have again, you have B1, do the same thing like this one, that is I will explain this one later, but you just do this. Is use the jQuery and you put the ID, and then you go to that element, and now they have a whole bunch of methods. Like if you want to change the text, and you can do text. Let's just say click it. Okay, if you just do click it and see what happens. If you go here and you save and you click, and it changed the text in your button. Now you see what I mean. You just same thing. You grab the element, you dot text, click. You change the text to click it. Let me just do the capital and click it. Okay. So that's how you can change the text in your button. Like sometimes you click and then you're saying click it. And of course we are going to disable. You can disable this button if you after you click and you don't want the people to click twice. And that's how you do a button, and you click it and then you click it. You don't want them to click, and then you can disable the button. But we'll do it next week. So what I want you to do, just change a little bit, add a little bit jQuery code here, and we should do some in native JavaScript. But what I want you to learn is just start from the jQuery, because jQuery is easier to understand. And what they did here, you just use the dot click, and now you add a function inside the click method as a parameter, and this function is called a handler for your click. It's going to handle what after you click it. So once you click it, and you change the button text from the don't click to click it, and that's how we do for the jQuery. And that's it for today, and see you next week. The reason is not when you click the button, the function it doesn't change because you didn't put the this ID. Okay, the ID is not right. It's not like this one, B1. If you put ID B1 here, okay, the B1 here, it should be pound B1. If you are ABC, it should be pound ABC. And now you should have dot click function. Now again, you will do exactly the same here, but you don't call the click, you call text, and you will change the text between the button. And that's what you get along, and you didn't have the same ID. Okay. And for the homework, you just need to go and read the let's just read the merge short. Actually, I want you guys to read all of them, but it might be too much for you. So you just go and read the merge short, okay? And for this page, and you read it and see if you can understand that. Yeah. What I want you to do is just read them, because I can't cover all of them for you guys. So it's time for you guys to learn by yourself, and you are going to get things better and better after you do a lot of reading, right? I think for Gigs is good, because they have the Python version for all the algorithms. All right, see you.